This was a classified information by the Russian government that was actually initially published in 1977. It was only for governmental use, and it was marked that way. And the CIA declassified it in 2012. So it's actually been public information since 2012. But this is, we're looking at 43-year-old literature talking about the 5 millimeter 60 hertz frequency and the detrimental effects it has on the human system, actually not just the human system, on any living system, and it's been completely ignored. So looking at just some of the fundamental aspects of what this energetic system does, what this radio frequency electromagnetic fields do, and they have an impact on all living things, no matter whether it's 1G, 2G, 3G, I won't say beyond that. But regardless of what level it is, it's always had some type of an impact on physiology. But the most recent version of it creates some very noticeable metabolic changes. And these changes have an impact not only on the immune system, but also on the cell membrane integrity. So for example, one of the things that we see is that the voltage-gated calcium channels that are so critical for the ability of the cell membrane to regulate efflux and influx of calcium within the cell. When this voltage-gated calcium channels get disrupted, it allows for calcium to come into the cells, which then causes a suppression of apoptosis, which is concomitant with the use of basically the propagation of cancer. It's actually consistent and congruent with the oncogenic process. Now, what happens when you start to create this type of disruption? That's just one aspect of it, but then you have other aspects that go into play. And so these aspects, as they come together, it's not 1 + 1 = 2, it's actually 1 + 1 + 1 equaling 33 type of thing. It's a synergistic to an order of magnitude greater destructive nature. So you've got other aspects from this technology that cause lymphocyte subpopulation suppression. You have the hypoxic type injury components that people have been able to observe, which is secondary to the apparent dissociation of iron from the hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. So when you pull the iron away from it, it actually causes a disruption. So the blood can't carry the same amount of oxygen, and the list just goes on and on. There's so many things that we don't even understand yet, how it affects the human system. Or whenever I say human system, it's actually affecting all living systems. It's definitely going to affect all life on the planet, because you're talking about a radio frequency